there wasn't leadership in the household. That's why men are broken. That's why women are broken. Most women and men have grew up in a divorced home. And if you haven't, you're probably not watching this video. I'm talking to the broken families, the broken, divorced home, dysfunctional home families. That's where I came from, and now I'm living my best life. That being 31, I am legit living the best life I have ever wanted. Peace. How do you have peace when you're in a relationship? Continue to watch my channel. You'll know how. Peace, love, understanding, faithfulness, travel, adventure, money in the bank, health, prosperity, happiness, joy. How was I able to do that? By being in a relationship. Obviously, being in a relationship didn't bring me all those things. Being in a relationship, I grew. If I decided to mature instead of to leave or divorce, I grew. I matured. So he did. That's on him. But I'm going to be the one that's going to work on myself the most, because the more that you work on yourself, everything else will change. Your leadership will change. Everybody else is watching. They're going to follow that leadership. But who are you in secret? Who are you? We only see 1% of you. In work, friends, we don't live with you, honey. You know who does? That person. And that's when the challenge come in. So ladies, if you're putting him down, you're not being strong. You're insecure. It's okay. I've been super insecure. I was super jealous, so insecure about a lot of things. I was putting things in my brain that was not true. I'm not gonna be his mom because that's a little weird, okay? And ladies, if you're being their mom, that's a little weird. Like, yeah, just ponder on that for a bit, okay? How do you go from being a mom to being his girlfriend, to whom he married? When we get married, we forget that we're still their girlfriends. Like, oh, it's like I'm in control of you, or it's like entitlement almost. He married his girlfriend, his sexy girlfriend. And it is our duty to be sexy and enticing and seductive. I know that's a lot for some women. I get it. Like, a lot of women are not going to agree with this message. I get it. That's just how it is. A lot of men are going to be like, wow, finally someone that gets it. If we women could encourage, build up our men, they would literally be able to be who they are. Who were they designed to be if we weren't always hovering over our men? But it's easier said than done, ladies. It's really not easy to just, I'm just going to go ahead and love on him and encourage and bow down to him. That's not what I mean. It means both individuals have to work on themselves. And if that female, which can be myself sometimes, if they're only showing malice, discouragement, putting down, emasculating, that woman doesn't truly love herself. And there's a lot of unforgiveness. I say this from experience. As a little girl, I've seen so much dysfunction. I see a lot of women just put down their men, calling them names. And what really hurts a man is that they cannot be themselves. They cannot be a warrior that is literally inside of them because they've been put down. It could have been a mother that's been putting them down because there was no leadership. There was not a leadership role in the house. And sometimes that's hard. Like, whenever you've grown up in a divorced home, the woman a lot of times have to be both men and a female. And it's unfortunate, but a lot of times women turn to more of a masculine role, more of a leader, when it's actually, hurting the children. But I understand why they do it. They have to be strong. They have to work hard. But they take those characteristics to really put someone down, and a lot of times happens to be their spouse. I personally want to say I'm sorry to all men that are out there, we have daddy issues. I feel like that's really where it starts. Again, it comes down to all different kinds of factors, but I want to point out the daddy issue thing. I can share from my experience. My dad really wasn't around for many, many reasons. And that's just how it was. So I really didn't have a fatherly figure to see a man respect their women and vice versa. I grew up seeing women really disrespect their men, and that's why I was single for a very long time. I had so many daddy issues, so many insecurities that we don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to forgive. We don't know how to take the time to really do the deep work that is necessary so we no longer hurt other people. You heard this saying, I'm sure, that people hurt people because they're hurt themselves. But that's all ego-driven. And I see many women that really makes me... I get to a point where I get angry, but I also do understand, and I show compassion. I show compassion towards men, and I show compassion towards women. Women are hurt, men are hurt, and we're all hurting each other. I want to say that I'm sorry for ever putting you down, ever feeling like that I'm better than you, smarter than you. And having to compete when it shouldn't be that way. We should all really learn how to respect one another, but sometimes we don't know how to do that. Sometimes I fall into that trap too, that I don't really know how to respect because I'm just driven by ego. So going back, like I see a lot of women emasculating their man, thinking that they should wear the pants in the relationship. I believe no matter what personality a woman is with a man, that it comes down to us being feminine. And I feel like sometimes women don't really show that in the marriage or in the relationship. They have to wear the pants. They are better. They're the ones who control for some weird reason. And I think the root of it comes down to a lot of broken childhoods, broken families. So for me, I definitely grew up in a very dysfunctional home, multiple homes, that is. My mom, as I love her dearly with all of my heart, she was married a couple of times, and I've never got a chance to taste what the role of a leader is. I didn't know what leadership meant. I didn't know what a leader was, and I do believe, and it took a lot of healing for me to even say this, that a man is a leader. That does not mean that we women are weak. And I feel like a lot of women have to compete to show that no, we're not weak. But also there's a sign of strength when we actually respect our men. But not a lot of women tend to do that. So yeah, I did not see any leadership in the household. And I feel like too, and men correct me if I'm wrong, but also when we see a weak man, whatever that means to you, is because there wasn't leadership inside the household either. I'm pretty sure a lot of men have not been raised by a man either. And if they did, it wasn't really good leadership. What good leadership is that a man is respected, a woman is respected. Neither of them have to bow down, be a doormat, none of that. But it's a form of respect, and knowing that the woman understands that the man is the leader of the household. Again, that does not mean to bow down and be walked on. I never want to be that person to do that. But at the same time, I can still be firm. I can still have my boundaries, because that's a way of respecting myself, and that's also a way of respecting him. So knowing our roles in the relationship, and this mainly goes to relationship in the house, whether you're married or you're living with someone, no matter what the case is, because I was in both sides. Well, I'm not married yet, but I will be. But I have lived with my boyfriend for solid 3 years. But at the same time, okay, let's do the things the right way. I personally want to get married. That's another story for another conversation. All of that dysfunction, it sparked an interest in me to find the cure for a marriage. We're talking about, who knows how old I was, 13. A 13-year-old is thinking about how to find the cure for marriage. I've been through it. I've been through a lot. and I did not see no leadership in the house at all. Both parties were controlling. There was no boundaries, no respect of all. And I just wanted to really figure out why. So as I grew up, as I went to college and I graduated, I went to a lot of business training seminars. In fact, even a lot of marriage conferences. And it takes a very courageous person to go to marriage conferences, and obviously trusting that person of who is given the information. Like, I don't just like to go to any marriage conference. My morals are set in stone and no one's going to change them. I must really, really, really trust this individual if I'm willing to hear them when it comes to marriage. Forgive our dad. Forgive our dad. Forgive our brother. Forgive our past boyfriends, past lovers. And forgiveness it doesn't just go away. It does not. It always creeps in. Forgiveness is a daily thing, and it's hard. I know that I said, oh, you can just forgive, you'll be okay. No, it takes years. It took me years to forgive all of my stepdads, to forgive my mom, even though they didn't do anything to hurt me. But we can all agree that no matter who is in our lives, some other way we decided to take something from them and allow it to hurt us. So not that they're bad people. It's just we're hurt individuals, and no matter what it is someone does, we're going to get hurt. That's because we choose to get hurt. It's not like they try to hurt us. We choose. So yeah, I forgave many of those ex-stepdads. My mom, my dad, my brother, even my current fiance. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, he's perfect. There's certain things that when we're in a relationship, something irks us tremendously. Like, we are so bothered by certain things that they do, certain things that they say. So, of course, I'm going to definitely forgive him for that because I choose to feel some type of way. We always have a choice. You either take their crap or choose to forgive their crap. It's up to you. So I knew that I had to unfold a lot, forgive a lot. And now, 8 years later, he asked my dad for his blessing. I would say a few weeks ago. No, like a week ago, he asked for my dad's blessing. And I didn't have a relationship with my dad. Like, we're talking about a lot of years to forgive and build that relationship. I've always had a dream for someone to ask for my dad's blessing, even though my dad couldn't be there. And you're saying 8 years? 8 years is a lot. Like, why it took him so long? We had a lot of maturity to go through, okay? Like, I'm 31 right now. We met when I was 23. He was 22, I'm sure. I'm a year older. We had a lot of maturity to do. It's not like, yeah, let's get married and everything's going to be fixed. No, let's get married and there's going to be a whole bunch of more problems that is going to be unfold. So can we just fix those problems just for a little bit right now before we even say I do? I do is no joke. I was a naive little girl who wanted to get married because everybody was getting married, and it was a trending thing. Yeah, that's another topic for another time when it comes to saying I do. So yeah, 8 years is a long time, but we've been through it. I was mean to him. Sometimes I'm still am, because there's just so much to learn. But I know deep down inside who I am. I am a sexy, feminine, beautiful bride to my groom. Come here. You want to say a few words? Say a few words. Yeah, come on. Come on, baby. I have a very faithful, sexy warrior. Thank you, I'm okay. In my life. And right now we're in Tulum, Mexico. Didn't think we were to be here. We just got back from South Africa a couple of months ago. And he liked to say a couple words to men from an actual man. No.
Y'all saw it here first. What am I doing? Okay, for those men who are listening, your woman more than likely will never understand you, and that's okay, because she's built differently than you are. And what's most important is that you both respect one another. It's just important that you respect each other for being different. As a man, most men, I would argue, naturally have a inclination to work hard because they feel a sense of satisfaction that comes from accomplishing their goals. And working long hours, working hard, doing things that are challenging, things that are even risky are part of the fun in making progress in life. And that might come off to your spouse, your girlfriend, even your family who are females, who are women, that won't understand that family is not always about the amount of time you spend with them, but the quality of the experience you have with one another. And for us, it comes down to being able to provide those experiences. Requires us to make sacrifices, but we're happy to make those sacrifices despite what we have to endure, because many times we're underappreciated, many times we're talked down to, criticized, and just mistreated because we're misunderstood. So, but you have to take that responsibility to do your best, to lead by example, and to communicate. Use your words, because women like to be communicated to and to be listened. But communicate and find a way that your spouse or your girlfriend or your family can understand that this is how you're wired, this is what brings you satisfaction, and although it might not be the same, you two are individuals, and you're okay separate, but you're better together. So you can do what she can't, and she can do what you can't, and you just have to honor each other's strengths and support each other through your weaknesses. Don't settle. Like, you can make all these plans in the world with a girl that you like and that you might even fall in love with, but love is not everything. It's not enough. And have enough self-respect to know that even though you love this person, that if you're not a good fit, it's okay to let them go. Because if you both are stuck in a relationship that doesn't improve each other's lives on the both ends, then you're better off finding it somewhere else. And it starts with you, but just don't settle. Amen.
Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.